I'm Brent Barnett on Brownfield Ag News, and joining us today on the program is Darren Hefty with Ag PhD Radio. Darren, good to see you. How are you doing today?
Hey, good to see you again, Brent.
Absolutely. What have you been up to here of late, Darren?
Oh boy, it's May. We've been busy planting and checking on crops as they've been emerging. It's been interesting. Our stands look really good on our corn. We started planting April 10th on the farm, and everybody gets nervous about the early planting. And yeah, you aren't just throwing bare seed in the ground. You're doing some things to help it out. But boy, it looks great. And I know some of the other guys in our neighborhood that have planted early. Their stuff's up and looking really good too. So that's pretty exciting. It's one of my favorite times of the year, seeing that crop first jump out of the ground.
I know we've gotten quite a bit of rain here across the region. Did you guys have any planting delays, and have you wrapped up?
No, we're still going, but we should wrap up here maybe tomorrow if everything goes well. So we got a bunch of corn in, we got some beans in, and then we got some rain, and that's okay. I love that our early planted corn is already out of the ground, and we still have some in the bag. But the stuff in the bag is silage corn, so that's great. You know, when you plant a little bit later, we're gonna have a nice warm week here. The way it looks, that corn should jump out of the ground, and then the elongation between nodes is a little bit longer, and we've ended up with some higher tonnage sometimes when we do that. So hoping for higher tonnage with some of this later planted corn.
I know a lot of farmers focus on early planted soybeans. What are some of the benefits of doing some early planted soybeans, Darren?
You know, I'm excited to get out today. I haven't been out in the fields yet this morning, but I want to get out and look at our soybean fields and see if we've got emergence yet. When beans get out of the ground quicker and get more days of sunlight, that's a good thing, because now the beans can be a little bit bigger. A lot of guys will complain that my beans aren't looking too good. My corn looks great, but my beans aren't looking too good. Well, as soon as those beans get some more growth to them, they can catch more sunlight and they really accelerate. And when we've got those long days coming up here in June, we want to have beans that are big and can catch a lot of that sunlight to put on more yield. So we almost always see more yield when we plant soybeans early. That's why guys are doing it. And the other thing that's kind of nice is just getting things done. So for us, we planted a bunch of corn acres, and then, man, our bean ground is fit. Let's just get the beans in the ground. And so I think this might be the earliest we've ever planted beans this year, but it just was a factor of, well, the soil's fit in those fields. Why push it on some of these cornfields? Let's just go plant the beans. And that hopefully will be a good strategy this year.
Darren, I know you get to talk with a lot of farmers across the country. Are you hearing of any weed issues, weed problems at this point of the season?
You know, it's interesting. So this weekend, even around my house, we were doing some odds and ends, and I was like, look at the size of these lamb's quarters. I've got some pigweed that's up already. I had some smart weed. Like, oh no, I'm supposed to be the weed of the week guy, and I got a mess right around my own house. So yeah, out in the field, those weeds will be coming. Most of the guys are putting on pre-emerge herbicides for a couple reasons. One, we generally see more yield. And two, if we can control the weeds early, it just makes it so much easier to come back in later on and clean things up post-emerge. So the pre-emerge herbicides with a little bit of rain that we've got should be working really good, but I know there's some areas of the country we've talked to guys, man, it's just never stopped raining there and they haven't been able to get out. I can only imagine they're going to have quite a mess to clean up at some point.
You know, just how big of an impact can weeds have on a yield, Darren?
It's really big. It's really big. And, you know, we've done such a good job really for the last generation of killing weeds. Now, you say, hold on, Darren, how can you say we've done a good job? There's lots of resistant weeds out there and lots of messes. Yeah, there are. But in general, we've done a pretty good job with Roundup Ready, with some of the different technologies, Liberty, Link, and all these that have helped us. But all you have to do is leave one little check strip, and you'll see really quickly. And I learned this lesson when I was young. My dad was going to try out this new herbicide at the time it was Command. So it's a long time ago. And Brian and I were his bean walkers in those days. Well, he was going to leave one little check strip where, okay, I know we've got velvet leaf pressure in this field, and the boys will go clean it up. So we were all on board with this. Yep, we'll leave one little check strip. That check strip was really big, and we had a lot of velvet leaf. And one thing Brian and I noticed when we were pulling all those velvet leaf, we're like, man, these bean plants are really thin. They don't have many pods on them. it really made an impact in our yield. So from that point on, we're like, we just can't have weeds out there, or it's going to crush us. And that was good motivation for us when we were still doing a lot of hand labor pulling weeds, that we better get out early and get stuff taken care of, or we're going to lose yield.
One weed issue I've been wanting to ask you about. So I live here in Iowa, but we travel frequently to northern and northwest Missouri to visit family. And here a couple of weeks back, we were down that way, and I just noticed when we were on the Missouri side, I felt like so many crop fields that I was looking at, it was just like a purple hillside, like all these purple weeds across the landscape. What is that, Darren?
Well, okay, now here's something I would say, and you're right. It will just cover fields, and it's all purple. And I remember driving through western Nebraska a couple years back, and my wife's like, wow, what crop are they growing? That's beautiful. And I said, honey, that is not a crop. That is henbit. And she's like, well, it's beautiful. And I'm like, no, it's not. Those farmers are probably hating that they've got that out there. But when we reduce tillage, we get these winter annuals coming in. Now, I'm for reducing tillage. Don't get me wrong. If you don't need to do the tillage, that's fine with me. I love it. But henbit can get in, and those winter annual weeds, if you don't control them in the fall, it's a real challenge to get them in the spring. So yeah, it's henbit, and that one is a tough weed.
Yeah, is it pretty problematic then?
It is in no-till and strip-till fields. In conventional till, we just don't see it. And so, yeah, it's one that on our farm growing up, my dad grew up in north central Iowa, and he was used to doing conventional tillage. We just never saw that until we went no-till and into some strip-till acres. And then, oh boy, we've got mare's tail, we've got henbit, we've got a lot of these winter annual weeds.
One thing I did want to ask before we go, Darren, sweet corn season will be here before you know it. What tips would you offer folks when they're doing their sweet corn planting?
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, because we do get a lot of questions about sweet corn, and I love sweet corn. But I remember as a kid when we'd have a sweet corn patch, sometimes you'd see sand burr and different things get in, and it's like, this is no fun even walking through the sweet corn, and people were scared to do a lot of stuff because sweet corn's pretty sensitive. I would say just start with a good pre-emerge herbicide like a Group 15 at a full rate, so something like a Harness or Outlook or Zidua, one of those products. And if we can hold a lot of the weeds down early, the sweet corn just never has the crop canopy that we get in our regular field corn, but doing everything we can to get a good crop canopy out there is important. And then just stay after it with whatever comes up. You can certainly address it. There's a number of different safe options that can be used in sweet corn for post-emerge control too.
Darren Hefty joining us here. Check him out, Ag PhD Radio and TV. Darren, thanks for being with us, and hopefully we'll see you again here later this summer for your Ag PhD Field Day.
Oh, that'd be great, Brent. It's coming up fast. It seems like July is right around the corner, so hope to see you there.
Looking forward to it. It's a great show for sure. Darren Hefty with us. I'm Brent Barnett with you on Brownfield, and thanks for joining us here on the program.